Hey guys, welcome back to the Man Time Ranch. As usual, we're doing some springtime maintenance here. It's that time of year where it just gets busy. You gotta get dirty, you gotta get a little sweaty. I test drove the truck the other day to get ready for hay season, and on the way home there was a burning smell kind of coming from the rear. Looks like I've got another caliper probably going. I got out and felt the hub was hot. It looks like it's from the rear on the passenger side of the vehicle here. So I'm getting it jacked up and got the bottle jack under there. We'll take the tire off, take the caliper off. It's got an internal e-brake inside of this gigantic hub. Hopefully it's not damaged, but it seems like the e-brake may have locked up. I got it inspected. Of course, they checked the e-brake, and so we'll get it all taken apart and see what's wrong with her. All right, so I had the four-way. It was just a little too close to the tire here. There wasn't enough clearance to really get on there and get some torque on it. So I've got a half-inch breaker type swiveling wrench with a big extension on there, 13/16. We'll get these guys popped off. Get her jack back up, and get after it. You can see on here I've got the crossfire system. If you have a dually, I highly recommend the crossfire. If you've ever tried to air up the inside tire in there, nearly impossible. Just a real pain. I can smell the burning smell from that rotor coming off as I'm getting in here. So it's either the caliper. I checked the e-brake cable. The e-brake cable is free, and so it's got to be something to do with the e-brake system on here, or just the regular brake system. This will be the second one that I've had to change out on this vehicle. The front one has given me a similar problem. Okay, I think we've got them all loosened up here, and I just want to get them a little loose, and then jack her up and then take them all the way off. Alright, we got the tire just off the ground here. I've got a big 4-ton under the center of the axle, and I've got a bottle jack to kind of just offset it the way I want it to go, right underneath the it's actually on the leaf spring, underneath the front leaf spring on this side. So we'll get these off of here and then see what we're working with. Alright, when I bring these off of there, I want to bring them off together. This crossfire runs between both of them, and it's just easier to leave it on there and leave them lined up. It goes on there kind of a particular way there. You can see I've got it lined up so it fits inside of this hole, goes through there, comes up here. It likes to be on there a certain way, so I'll take them both off at the same time so that stays aligned, and then we'll get into the brake caliper. Alright, so I think I've identified the problem correctly. It looks to be this, it might even be the caliper, but I smell that really strong kind of burning clutch, burning brake pad kind of smell. So we'll get in here. Hopefully it isn't this rotor here, because this thing is just a massive assembly. I'm guessing this rotor probably runs, $200-300, but we'll check it out. Hopefully it's not. plenty of brake pad on the front. And yeah, I got, oh boy, looks like I'm gonna need a caliper. You can see right in here that's destroyed caliper. Alright, so I've got the brake caliper here. It is kind of bleeding out the fluids that it has here, but let's see if we can get in here and see what we see. Yeah, this thing just reeks of burning metal, burning rubber. Here's the brake pad. You can see the reddish hue on there. I think that's from all the heat. You can actually see some bluing on there as well. A lot of pad left, so I mean, that was fine. Let's see what we got here. And oh, look at there. So now, after I brought the wife's car in, I know that that this part may not be included in the core. The sliding, I guess I'll call it a carriage, for lack of a better word. But you can see on this one, unlike the wife's car, this one is moving smoothly. So I'm going to put this in the vise. I'm going to get these two bolts out of there. But it's almost like there's ash in there. Right here and inside of there is just disintegrated boot around that caliper. If anybody knows why this is happening, or why this happens to calipers, let me know. I'd be interested to know what would cause something like that, or what causes them to lock up. I've had several of them locking up, and I just can't for the life of me. I mean, I guess it's just normal wear and tear on them. I don't know, but we'll get this one torn down, get a replacement, get it put back together, and see how she works. Alright gang, we're back. I got the reman caliper, and I'm going to reassemble here. I've got Mother Nature trying to rain on me, so we'll try to get this done quickly and beat her to the punch. She seems pretty eager to go ahead and let it rain down though. So, let's see here. Those are in there. Like so. Hey now. Alright, there, we're clipped there, we're clipped there. That's held in place. Okay. So we'll look on the back here, see where these clips line up. So I got 3. try to make it uniform what I've got left here. Doesn't look like there's really a right way and a wrong way to have them clipped on here. But you kind of slide one in and get it clipped, and then come on, baby. Before it rains, Daddy's working with a timetable. There we go. Got one in. The other one, you just kind of jam it so it slides back in there. Make sure that it's clipped. There we go. Okay, so we've got our clips. That clip in the back here, and those have got to be clipped on the back side there. So that's going to hold your brake pads in where they should be. I've got all those clipped. I've got here we go, 2 of each. Left for the other side. So once I get done putting this one on there, I'll go ahead and use these ones for the other side. So pads in there, all assemblies tight. We'll tighten these 2 bolts up here, put that in the vise for that, and then we'll get it back on the vehicle. Alright, here you can see the replaced and completed assembly. I've got everything, banjo and things hooked up in the back here. Might be a little difficult to see, but there's the banjo. Of course, we got our new rubber on the new caliper. Everything's cinched up and ready to start reassembly. Alright, one more thing I'm going to do is go ahead and bleed out the brakes. I had to steal the plastic, or I'm sorry, rubber. Take the rubber that plugs off this bleeder off of the core. Of course, they aren't going to tell you that. Alright, so we'll loosen up our bleeder here. Let the fluid drain down through. And hopefully this will fill back up the caliper. I'm going to go ahead and start the vehicle. Sometimes starting the vehicle will help that fluid start flowing through there. I'll tap on it here, see if we get some fluid starting to flow. Like I said, I filled up the caliper with fluid. Of course, getting it over here and hooking up the banjo with it laying down didn't help anything. So let me start the vehicle. Sometimes when you start it up, it kind of has some residual pressure that'll build up in that brake booster, and it'll send some fluid down through the lines, and we can bleed out any of the air that might have got in there out. Alright, so for those of you who like to watch the punishment and the torture, trying to get 2 dually back wheels on at the same time here. Alright, I decided just to unhook the Surefire. It's bleeding out air from one tire, like it's supposed to do. because it doesn't have the other pressure from the other tire keeping it maintained. Oh, that was easier. Okay, so now, get back. Back it up. Alright. Hold on. Go on. What I'm going to do is set this one in place, get the Surefire back up. I can see where I had it lined on there. Get it lined up. Get it going back on. Okay, you hear the leaking has stopped. We got our Surefire hooked back up on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and try to set the other tire on here. There we go. Looks like our Surefire is going to line back up right where it's supposed to be. Okay, next steps. A little bit of the anti-seize lubricant. A little dollop of that on there. Yeah, all these nuts have this kind of anti-back-out design. Actually, on the nut, it's got a built-in washer with an anti-back-out type of design on it. Alright, last thing that I'm going to be able to get done here before it starts raining on us is to show you the Crossfire. And that is a unit that sits and equalizes pressure between both of your tires here. It's got a nice little indicator system on it. So as you're airing it back up, we had to disconnect one there. We lost some air in one of the tires. It is since equalized, and it's got a indicator line there between the black and the red for whatever desired pressure. These things come in a variety of different pressures. I had a set on my, I got an old used dump truck a while back. It had one of these on it, and I was like, oh my god, there is my answer to filling up dually tires. You just fill up one plug, it equalizes between the two, and you're done. We'll get these buttoned up, take it for a test drive, and that'll do it. Thanks for joining me on Man Time today. I hope you learned something about fixing your truck. Another brake caliper issue. I don't know what the deal is. If anybody knows how and why these things fail, what the typical lifespan is on them, let me know. I've just been having problems with them recently. But we'll get that buttoned up and take it for a test drive. And hopefully we get it done before the rain hits. Thanks for joining me.